then even the Tiana Taylor song is like pretty fire, and like people were really behind that because of the music video.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this album cover.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5. yeah.
5 out of 5, bro. That's strategic. That's marketing at its finest. She knew what she was doing there, and she knew the reaction it would draw. And she knew that if you got that out of 5 songs on the top 5, you know, like dopest like albums or whatever, you know, if you just looking,
hey,
you know what you're gonna click
talking
on.
About album covers that reel you in.
I'm saying, dog. You know, it's like it's marketing, bro. I did want to bring up really quickly. I thought the last 2 albums, I took those 2 albums off on Kehlani's, you know, in her discography. I'm not really the biggest fan of the last 2 major projects. You have to go back to like 2015, 2016 from like the time that I really enjoyed her projects. Yeah. Other than this one, but I wanted to know what you guys thought about how much of her having her laptop stolen with all of like her like lifetime's worth of songs and music. Like she got that stolen some years back and basically had to start from scratch to make all of her new music. So I think that really kind of like, I think she was like riding a wave, and that kind of like sat her down a little bit. Of course, she had that feature work and was blown up in that way, right? But I think that like getting it back into her own bag took her a couple of years and more life experiences, because I mean, just imagine, it's like you having all your greatest ideas in a notebook and then someone just steals it and you're like, oh shit, like
and
you know,
for her
so I just
too,
want to know what you thought.
What you made me think of is, for her too, the kind of music that she makes is, I feel like she probably has to go through some sort of cathartic experience to purge out some of the emotions in these songs when she writes them or when they actually get finished. That process can be tiring, maybe. And if you have all these songs that you've worked through and then you have to start from ground zero again, I can imagine for an artist like her, like that being particularly difficult. You know, if you just stole one of Lil Wayne's laptops or something like that, you know, he's an artist that can make billions of songs. Exaggerating.
He'll just walk right back into that booth, start freestyling.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, he is a start from scratch. Like, that's just how he makes music, is starting from scratch. But, you know, especially for someone like an R&B artist, what goes into making a song and actually, you know, creating that entire song can be a lot more. And I would say that probably may have affected her. I didn't know that happened to her.
Yeah, that was a couple years back, man. I guess it was someone within her team or something, you know, took that or whatever at a show or something. But, man, I wanted to ask you, I feel like there's a huge missed opportunity here. What did you guys think about the Janae track?
One of my favorite tracks, actually.
Oh, word. I've been on record not being a huge Janae Aiko fan. Okay. Like, I think what she does is, I think what she does really well, but I'm just not like a huge Janae fan. And so I was like, that was probably the feature on this that I was like least excited about. But I mean, the song's fine. I'm not like crazy about it. It works really well in the track list. I will say it doesn't bring down the rest of the album at all. But it's just not my favorite track.
What about you, Dev?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of contrary to you on this, while still feeling like there are some missed opportunity features. So I actually have been gravitating to the Janae Aiko feature and the James Blake feature, whereas the Lucky Day Masego and Tory Lanez features have not caught on to me as much.
Now,
I'm gonna give this album
fire,
another
dude.
listen. I'm gonna give this album more listens after we are finished here. I don't have a full formed opinion, but those have been the songs that I've been gravitating to first.
Okay.
Those are the songs that I put on the playlist.
This thing has been on constant repeat for me, man, and I'm really disappointed with the Janae one, because I thought Janae did her thing, you know what I mean? But I think that like right now with the momentum Janae's kind of like a cult. Like she has a cult following right now. So for her, like Kehlani and Janae could have like had a little more synchronicity on the song, but instead I think they opted to kind of go with 2 different sounds. Like it doesn't really sound like they meshed well.
Yeah. I will say I like the song more than I like that Janae feature, because it's like a significant switch up.
Yeah, exactly. So that one, I'll tell you what, I was really excited though, man. And this one, it spoke the most out of all the tracks to me. It's not even about Kehlani. It's about Masego. Masego hops on a song, on a feature, right? And it's just him on his saxophone, and you know exactly who he is just as soon as he starts playing. Yeah. Dude, that's so heavy though, because it's like he's cemented himself so deep in our minds, you know, just to have that sound. It just shows how big he is without even having to sing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Tory Lanez probably had one of the best features on the project, but he, you know, suffering from that, competing against himself, man.
Yeah. More or less, I feel like we've found a way to talk about everybody on this project except for Kehlani.
Yeah, right.
We compared Nav to Kehlani, and then we're like, oh, okay, well, what about these features and whatnot? My final take with Kehlani on this project is I would be lying if I said I don't feel a little disappointed in just the overall project. It's 39 minutes, 15 songs, so it's not very long. You know, it's pretty short and sweet to the point. But it doesn't feel that way to me. I haven't really gotten a ton of album experience out of this yet. I feel like there are a couple songs that I'm gravitating towards to kind of help me jog up my interest for the overall artistic statement. A little on the slower end for me.
I'm with you. The more I listen to like the contemporary R&B of today, like Summer Walkers and the Kehlanis, and like, not that these artists like aren't good at all. It's just a full album of that kind of music gets like a little bit tedious for me, like a little bit too much, not of the same note, but of a similar note. And from a front to back, like there is that one song I think that Kehlani like kind of raps on that, like I thought was like
on the end she raps, which I thought
was that
cool.
Kehlani?
I thought that was a cool way to end the album. I gotta give props to that as well.
I think it's Kehlani.
I don't think that's Kehlani, man. Is it?
It sounds like a different person, but I thought it was Kehlani just getting her like.
Well, it says it's Lexi's outro, so I figured this is just a whole nother person. It totally could be though. Maybe I'm tripping.
Well, regardless of who it is, all I know is like it needed that. It needed like a little bit of refreshment from the same kind of like. It's not as much of an experience as like an alternative R&B, like an Ari Lennox or like an Raven Lenae or something like that. However, that being said, my last little thing is the songs that don't have a feature on them, I think are actually pretty great. Like, I think that I kind of prefer if you had to like put them against each other, where the Nav was like, just give me the features. Like I could do without the rest. The Kehlani thing, I'm kind of like, I might like this album a little more if you had to pit the two sides against each other. The non-feature side, I kind of like it a little bit more, just because I think she was able to like kind of be herself more so on it, with the exception of the Masego, because it's not really like his voice carrying it. But I don't know. I think the project's good, but it's just like an album like this is rarely ever going to touch like my top 25 of a year, because it's just like, it's not my kind of music.